let's see. Bismillah. Okay. Let's see what's we got here. Fantastic. Okay. So it looks like we are getting cut off on. Is this better? Yeah, this is better. Okay. That works. Okay, that works. Let's make this smaller. Sorry, please bear with me. And let's transform this center. Okay. Yeah, so whatever platform you are on, just bear with me. I just need to fix this stuff. Okay. Transform. Let's make it horizontal. Okay. Okay, that's so small, but okay. Okay, let's just run with it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Go live. Okay, cool. Looks like we're good, guys. All right, let's go ahead and continue what we were working on. Okay, so give me a moment. Let's make sure we're good. Okay, alhamdulillah, we're good to go. We are good to go. What does this say? Connected, connected, not started. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, cool. Yeah, we are good to go. Yeah, so thank you for bearing with me. That was the first time I've ever set that up. Hence the delay. Okay, good. Right. So essentially, what's the point here? The point is that I am just doing my work, and a lot of people are usually interested as to what a founder does. I get questioned all the time. I was a founder, then I went into corporate for multiple years, and I found it to be extremely beneficial. I was in a senior level position as a product owner, product manager while I was in corporate, and then after that, I'm back to full time entrepreneurship as the founder of Tensor, which is a B2B company where we build out like AI custom solutions, workflows, and whatnot. We also do like social media marketing, and it was all done. For my own companies out of necessity, kind of born out of necessity, not necessarily like going out of our way to try to like be a what's it called, consultancy or whatever. But then you find that hey, the solutions that you built for your own businesses are actually useful for other people as well. So that's Tensor, and then Mentor Agile is all about helping people to get into tech. So like as I mentioned, like I worked for multiple years in a senior level position, and we have successfully taught people how to, got them certified, and helped them get a job. And one of our students just got a job at Microsoft. So that's like a big win for us, essentially. And we are passionate about helping others do that type of career change as well. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, the focus now is going to be me getting through the work I need to do for the day. I will narrate it to you, so you're literally seeing the day to day operations of a founder, what type of things they're working on, and how they're moving the needle bit by bit. It's not going to be glamorous, so there's a bunch of different platforms that this is streaming on, but I have it all aggregated together. So you could send a message on whatever platform you may be on, and I will likely see it. And if I don't, then forgive me. Okay. Okay. Cool. So it's all about differentiating signal from noise. There are a million and one things that are vying for your attention, whether that be advertisement or otherwise. Even within your business, there are different tasks, but not all tasks are created equal. So it's your job as an executive that you have to be able to identify that what is that one thing that if I get it done today, I will deem the day to be successful. And I, without a doubt, have that already in mind. I have a full time dev on my team, but I have dedicated him to just focus on getting our first AI product launched because there are two clients that are actively waiting for it to be in production. So I consider that to be the highest signal thing to be done throughout the entire company. So like the whole company's aligned on that mission, and not everyone's going to be working directly to make that happen. However, anyone that can play a supporting role, that takes precedence because that's kind of the initiative that I have set forth, right? Because as the founder, essentially, like you are the one that has to decide. You are the one that has to make the decisions, and you have to live with the consequences of whichever decision you chose. So that's where I've bet. There's this one dude that was saying, "Oh, you don't bet?" And he's like, "No, I'm an entrepreneur. I do nothing but bet, and obviously not in a haram way, but when you're putting your time into something, you're betting that that's going to be worth your while because any time you put into it is an investment, correct? So, okay, with all that being said, I'm going to leave him to that, and I will more so focus on another dev related thing that I think I could just handle on my own, which is completely revamping the Tensor site. Okay. Yeah, so the concept there is, we were just serving our own businesses and a very niche, like boutique type of clientele. So therefore, it didn't really matter, honestly, about our website. Your website is not that important. Just a FYI, it depends on what stage you're in that determines the importance of your site. I believe, or I feel like we're kind of at that stage now where it would be appropriate for me to completely revamp the site and kind of show the offerings. Like over the years, we've been doing a lot more than just marketing with all the custom solutions built for businesses, like AI-enabled workflows. Like we should showcase that. So it would be good from a business perspective for that to be handled. Okay, so this is going to pivot now from I just pretty much just gave you a whole talk about like making executive decisions as a founder, giving you a sneak peek at what the day to day looks like when you're building a company from scratch. Now we're going to pivot hard into the highest signal task that I have. And those that just joined, we're talking about signal versus noise, and you got to identify like the highest signal thing and get to it and make sure it gets done. So for me, it's the website. So pretty much what I've done is I use Claude Code for everything. So this is going to turn into like a vibe coding session at this point because that's the number one thing for me to complete. I use Claude Code for everything. I love it. I've used other services, like I've used Klein. It's an extension in VS Code. But I personally recommend to anybody that asks me, how do you make like amazing, high quality software as a non-developer? Because I'm not a dev. I never claimed to be a developer. However, I'm able to make very high quality, robust software. And the way to do so is pretty much to have a good handle on what a product owner or product manager does, making sure you understand the checks and balances, what the software development lifecycle is. You don't have to be a developer for this stuff. And then just make sure you're meticulous about it and using a good platform. So, okay, so what I did is in Claude Code, I went ahead and I just started a repo for the front end site. I So I don't know anything about like deployment and any of that stuff. I absolutely hate it. I hate anything like CI/CD related, setting up the servers and making it such that it's hooked up to the GitHub and all that. I really really don't like that stuff. So my number one prerogative, the first thing I do is I will get like a .env file, which is like an environment file. It's not that complicated. It's pretty much just a file that ensures that anything that you put in there in terms of like tokens or credentials, they're not going to be accidentally like uploaded to GitHub or anything unsecure. So the first thing I do is like I'll just go to all the platforms that I'm going to use for the project. I pull out API keys for every single one of them. Like I'll create the API keys or tokens and secrets, and save it all in a secure place in the project, so that Claude Code could reference it, and I just have Claude Code do anything that I don't want to do. So, for example, I'm not even going to log on to the website for the servers and everything. However, Claude Code, because it has the appropriate access, it's not just a LLM that you talk to it and it talks back to you, but rather it's like your right-hand man, and it's like, yo, I got this. I will go and I will set up the server and I will set up the database, and I'll set up your CI/CD so that you can just push the code directly to GitHub main, and it'll compile or like build whatever automatically on the site. So I've been used to using DigitalOcean, but I got recommended to use Versal instead. And the way I got recommended, it was recommended by Claude Code. It was like a Sonnet model, and I didn't believe it. I was like, okay, that's cute, but like just do it the way I said. But as a second opinion, I always use, for example, like I'll use ChatGPT as a second opinion, right? So Sonnet gave me a suggestion. I'll run it by ChatGPT's like 5 model or 5 Pro if I feel like it, and get a second opinion. It agreed. It said no, Versal is better than DigitalOcean, and it gave a really good compelling argument as to why. So yeah, it won me over. It humbled me, and I will go with what it suggested. And thankfully, it didn't say I told you so. Okay, so all I did is right now I have the repository saved on my local machine. I just cloned it. And yeah, keep in mind, like any project I ever do, any project I've ever worked on, I don't write a single line of code. So anything you see me doing, like don't be fooled into thinking I'm a developer or I'm developing. It's literally just knowing how to prompt in a manner that is in a manner that's going to get you the best result. And the best analogy that I've heard for this, and I really love this analogy, is that the vast majority of people, when they're interacting with AI or a platform, they're treating it like a vending machine, where they're pressing a button and they're expecting to get that thing, just like a vending machine vends you whatever the heck you need. Whereas the people that are more skilled and are getting the most value out of it, they're really good at describing precisely what they're looking for and iterating through multiple instances until you get like a refined end product. And that's the name of the game, like just iterating, right? Iterating in a manner that is unthinkable in the past. Like you would never imagine that you can go through that many versions. It seems ridiculous. Like version numbers just seem ridiculous at that point, because you're shipping like nobody's business. Okay, so I'm going to say I made a master document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it, I'm going to point or reference it to the master document, and I'm going to be like, hey, I want you to understand this thoroughly. So let's do that. Tensor website, specifically there's a master plan. So I'm going to put it in plan mode. So you do Shift Tab, put it in plan mode. I'm gonna hit it with an Ultra Think, ULTRATHINK. It's all one word, and it should turn into like a rainbow font, and that means that you've enabled Ultra Think. So put it in plan mode, said Ultra Think, I pointed it to the markdown file, which is just like a note file pretty much, that has the entire plan. And I did a planning in a previous session, so I'm just picking up from where I left off. So understand this thoroughly and come up with a plan as to how to accomplish this. Okay? All right, so it's going to do a lot of thinking. Okay, before I do that, actually, I should create another folder, and I'm going to name this context, okay? And what I'm going to do is, because we're revamping the tensor site together, I have a bunch of tensor-related material. For example, like I have a product catalog, and I should drop the product catalog into this project. By doing so, it will know exactly. I don't have to sit there and like prompt it and tell it what I need. Rather, it's already going to be able to parse through the catalog and understand. Okay, so I'm going to give it the product catalog. I have a timeline. Like if you sign up with us, we have like the first 30 days all mapped out, like exactly what your onboarding looks like. So I'm going to just give it to Cloud Code. Okay, I'm going to give it our logo. Let's give it our logo. Oh, and by the way, if you want to get a feel for something that's already been built in the manner that I'm building it right now, I would recommend that you go to mentoragile.com, mentor agile.com. In mentoragile.com, you're going to see like exactly the quality of work that we are talking about here. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, let's keep it moving. One second. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so moving along. One second. Sorry, one more. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I pointed it to that comment how to accomplish this. Please visit Tensor Solutions, SOLUTIONS. Please visit Tensor Solutions. Okay, forget about visiting Tensor Solutions. That's going to take up unnecessary context. I'm just going to point it to our product catalog. Okay, so okay, let's see what we got here. Context. Yeah, there we go. And context holds all of this. Please accomplish this. Okay. Please make sure to thoroughly understand exactly what we offer, and make sure to give a heavy emphasis on our new AI business solutions. And then what I'll do is I'll go to ChatGPT, and within ChatGPT I will go to TensorDial, which is the name of our product, and I'm gonna say, please give me a fantastic product detail detail explaining exactly what our solution has to offer. Amazing features. To be, I want it to be informative, convincing. Cool. Okay, yeah, because the thing is, it's good. I don't know if people do this or not, or if you're accustomed to doing this or not, but I highly recommend for people to I highly recommend for people to have folders and organize themselves properly on ChatGPT or whatever you're using. If you're using Anthropic or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Because then you can do like what I just did essentially here, right? Okay. So before I craft it, can you confirm which solution you're referring to? Okay, you have several in motion. Yeah, that is true. So I'm talking about TensorDial. Okay. I'm referring to TensorDial. Yeah, I'm referring to TensorDial. Okay. Let's see if let's see, yeah. Okay. We are good. Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so we have so we got this update from ChatGPT. Here's how blah blah blah. Okay. Okay. Our flagship product is Tensor Dial. Okay, and we gave it all the details. Okay, so we're about to hit run. So as you've seen, it took me about maybe 20 to 30 minutes to get this all figured out. So when I'm giving it a prompt, this is what you call context engineering, by the way. You're giving it all the context that it could possibly need. You're pointing it in the right directions. You're telling it to refer to the right files. You're giving it instructions in terms of its style and in terms of the way it needs to operate. So these are all things that go a long way. These are all things that go a long way in terms of getting exactly what you want and moving out of the mentality of let me see one thing. These are all things that. Okay, fantastic. So audio's working. Yeah, so these are all things that move us away from the mentality of vending machine and move us closer or more towards like a professional way of doing this. It's definitely a skill. Now, how relevant this skill is going to be is up to debate in terms of like the longevity of of this type of skill set. Right now, without a shadow of a doubt, it's serving me extremely well. I would assume, frankly, that these types of models are just going to get better and better to the point where, like, for example, the way that I would have to prompt 2 to 3 months ago when I'm like vibe coding or context engineering, whatever you want to call it, is significantly different. The experience is significantly different from how it's going now. Because at this point, the models are a lot more advanced and it's a lot easier for you to get the desired result. You would have to have a very deep product knowledge, or you would have to have deep knowledge of SDLC before, which is the software development lifecycle. And as a non-software developer, I'm not a software developer, right? As a non-software developer, it's not easy for everyone. If you're a product owner or product manager, it's fairly simple because you're already used to living in that environment. But I would say for the vast majority of people, it just was not something that you could easily pick up. Now, with that being said, 2 months or 3 months later, like where we stand now, the way that you're able to prompt and get your desired result is significantly easier, a lot easier, to the extent where it feels like you're like a maestro at like a symphony or something. It's really easy. You just have to know how to give it the correct context, and that's kind of what I just displayed to you guys here. The whole concept of pointing it in the right direction, giving it all the files that it needs to reference, and letting it take it from there, right? So yeah, okay. So what's going on now? So what's happening now is I did that. We spent about like 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes on the prompt, which is good because it's the initial prompt. But frankly, it's just going to be an iterative process. We're going to see what it decides, what it comes up with, and keep iterating. So okay, so now this is one thing that I absolutely love about Cloud Code, and it's literally, I mean, it's in a very I would say concerning sense. It asks the exact type of questions from you. You're the ultimate stakeholder, right? You're asking it to do something. It asks the exact, like, perfect descriptive qualifying questions that a good product manager or a good product owner would be asking. Okay, so let's see what it asked me after I gave it the task. It's saying, what's the relationship between tensor dial and the product in your catalog? Okay, so it's a very good question because in our catalog, this is an old catalog. We had something called like ChatGPT Business Agent, which is at this point like completely, I would say, deprecated. Like, it's not even something we're doing. So that's a good catch. So the options it's given me: it's a new product not yet in the catalog. It's a rebrand. It's a conceptual aspirational. No, it's definitely not conceptual. We already have it built. Or it's a combination. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's a new product, but good catch. Next question it's asking me is regarding launch time. Okay, so it's saying, what's your realistic timeline expectation for launching the website? Okay, so it's saying 30 days, 2 to 3 months, or 6 to 8 weeks. 2 to 3 months, it's saying master plan timeline follows the complete master plan. Yeah, I would say that. I would say exactly that. I would never get dissuaded by like the 2 to 3 months type of thing. And the reason why is because frankly speaking, it does it in a matter of hours. It just for some reason still gives these ridiculous timelines. Okay, how much context, copy, images, demos do you currently have ready? Okay, so written content. Minimal, start from scratch, need complete content strategy. So I'm going to say start from scratch. Okay, now it's asking regarding 3D hero scene. So it's saying what style of 3D hero best represents your brand and tensor dial. Okay, so there's abstract, geometric. Okay, so this is modern geometric shapes with animation, sophisticated, tech-forward, versatile aesthetic. Or there is voice, audio waveforms, and particles. No, I don't think so. There's neutral artwork, data flow visualization, animated artwork, nodes, and connections. Okay, and there's start simple, enhance later, begin with subtle 3D effects, 2D animations. So I'm going to say something different. And what I'm going to say is, I want you to research amazing, award-winning animations or effects we can simply use rather than having to do it from scratch. From scratch. Okay. Okay. So let's give it that and submit. Okay, so I have just submitted the I've just submitted it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now we have a moment. So we're live on different platforms. Feel free to like put in a comment wherever you may be. I do have it like aggregated so that I see everything separately. Okay. Okay, so all right, so it is doing a search. Okay, web search award-winning 3JS examples. Okay, yes, go ahead and do that. It's doing a web search. On the other computer, it actually asks, it uses like Perplexity. I like that. It does like a Perplexity deep research. The only thing is it does take a bit of time for it to do that. So, okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. Essentially, it's like okay. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so let's see where we are at. Instagram, I should have. Let's keep doing it. Okay, let's go ahead and do it again. Bismillah. Okay, Steam key, blah, 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 edit. Drop this in there and save. Okay. Okay. Not sure what the issue is, but let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. So let's keep it moving. Error occurred. Okay, that's fine. Alrighty. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Okay, cool. Right. So, all right, let's see what we got. So, I am going to switch back to the other computer. All right, so it's saying excellent clarity helps tremendously. Let me research award-winning 3D animations effects that we can use or adapt rather than building from scratch. It wants to look at a GitHub repo. Okay, I am happy for it to do so. It is researching. Yeah, as it's researching, we can essentially, let's see. Yeah, so there is some downtime. I do find it difficult to be doing more than one project at the same time. It's a little bit hard to do that. So let's see what we got here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream since it is time for Asr soon. So I will catch you all next time. Take care.